Today we're going to continue on with some of the adjectives we skipped over yesterday and talking about more agreement rules. So, starting with our translations. Our adjective for blonde is, quite simply, blond. Blond. When we add our E to make it feminine, we get blonde. Blond, blonde. The word for strong, our masculine singular form is fort, which means our feminine singular form will be forte. For brunette, masculine form will be brun, brun, and our feminine form will be brune, brun versus brune. For awesome, our masculine form will be génial, génial. Our feminine form, as you guess, will be génial, but there's no difference in the way that we pronounce these two. Because we normally pronounce L at the end of a word anyway, the masculine form is génial, and the feminine form is génial. They sound the exact same way. The difference is only in spelling. And then finally, we have the word mean. The masculine form will be méchant, and the feminine form is méchante. All right, let's look at some practice sentences. How would you say that Solange is brunette if we know that Solange is a French girl name? The correct answer is Solange est brune. Solange is the same as elle, brune, the feminine form of brunette, because Solange is a girl. How about Mark is strong? The correct answer is Marc est fort. How about Madame Fleer is an awesome teacher? This is actually a super tricky sentence. The correct answer is Madame Fleer est un prof génial. First, remember that our adjective has to go after the noun that it's modifying, the noun that it's describing. Madame Fleer is a teacher. True. But Madame Fleer is what kind of a teacher? She's an awesome teacher. So therefore our awesome has to go after the word teacher. Note as well that génial is in the masculine form, even though Madame Fleer is a girl. The reason for that is because the word teacher, un prof, is a masculine word. It's not about matching what the person is. It's about matching the word that it's describing. Since awesome, as we already said, is describing what kind of teacher I am, and not Madame Fleer, myself, we know that we have to match that masculine singular word, un prof génial. But what if you had an even more complicated sentence? One like this. Monsieur Pretz and Monsieur Engler are intelligent. We want to say that they are both intelligent. How do you think we might do that? Hopefully you at least got as far as saying Monsieur Pretz et Monsieur Engler sont. The are, they are. What you might have been able to guess was that just like pluralizing our nouns, where we add an S to the end of most nouns in order to make them plural, we can do the exact same thing to adjectives. Monsieur Pretz et Monsieur Engler sont intelligents, spelled with an S because we have more than one dude that we're describing. So just like our adjective matches gender, it's also going to match number if we're talking about one person or more than one person. But then what do you think we might do with a sentence like this? Where now we're talking about Madame Fleer and Madame Reese, and we want to say that they are intelligent with two women. You might have been able to guess. It works the exact same way, just with the feminine form of the adjective. Madame Fleer et Madame Reese sont intelligentes. We have to add the E because we're both women, and we have to add the S because there's more than one of us. So, let's do an overview. To make adjectives agree with whatever it is that they're describing. Our base word is masculine singular. So for example, if you were to look up the word strong in the dictionary, it would tell you fort, our masculine singular version, il est fort. To make this feminine, we just add an E onto the end of the dictionary form, that base adjective. Elle est forte. In order to make them plural, most of the time, we're going to add an S to either one. If we're talking about more than one person, then we have to have the S, regardless of if it's masculine or feminine. Masculine-feminine only determines whether or not the E is there or not. There's one exception to this rule, and that's the word génial. Génial in the feminine gender looks the exact same way you should think. We add our E. You don't hear it, but we add it. The plural feminine also works the way you should think. Add an E, add an S. Génial. But our masculine plural is a whole nother beast. It looks like we should just add an S. Génial. But we can't do that. Don't write that down. Don't do it that way. Whenever we have an adjective that ends in an AL, we're going to get rid of that L and change it to an UX. So think about when we made words like bureau and tableau plural, and we had to use an X instead of an S. This is the exact same thing, only we kind of have to put the U in ourselves. This is true with any AL adjective. The masculine plural, we get rid of the L and change it to a UX. Géniaux. Remember, AUX makes an O sound. Génial, géniaux. So let's do a couple quick practice sentences. How would you say that Bob and Susan are tall? Bob et Susan sont grands. They are grands with an S. Just like when we determine our gender for il and elle in the they, if you have a mixed group where there's however many girls you want, but at least one guy, we have to default to the masculine. But it's still plural, since we still have more than one person. How about we are funny, if you're talking about a group of guys? Nous sommes marrants. Nous sommes, we are, funny, with the masculine plural, just the S on the end. How about you girls are annoying? So we're talking to a group of girls, and we want to say, you're all annoying. Vous êtes pénible. Vous êtes, you are, pénible. Remember, pénible didn't change in between masculine and feminine, largely because it already ends in an E. But we still have to make it plural because we're talking about more than one annoying girl here. One last one. How about Alice and Marie are short? Alice et Marie sont petites, adding both the E and the S since we have more than one girl.